Well, we still have our discussants here, our guest here, Captain Umar Ali, a security expert, and of course, Barrister Malaki Ugumadu, who is a lawyer, Dr. Abiola Akioya Falabi, the coordinator of TMG here in Lagos, looking at the elections, which is just less than 24 hours from now. And basically, we're looking at preparations and how well we can focus on some of these states. Now, let's look at the flashpoint according to NHRC. I want us to explore some of these states. Let's start off with Abia State, because before Dr. Afolabi joined us, we had looked at Rivers and even Lagos State. Abia State, why would Abia make this list? Let's start with Ugumadu.
Well, Abia State, the one they call God's own state. Now, first is to observe that these flashpoints have been raised by National Human Rights Commission. One would have taken it hook, line, and sinker if it's coming from maybe the security agencies, having regards to the fact that the issue here is regarding the violence level and insecurity level in those states. But be that as it may, we can concede the fact that the National Human Rights Commission has also been very particular about security issues, not even regarding this election, times preceding this moment. Abia State has become a very disturbing phenomenon, even before this election. There were these entrenched positions by those who believe outrightly that nothing was going on in Abia State in terms of governance, and those who are forcing the view that the opposite is the case. So you're talking about opposing views, and it is expected that the context will be by far more contentious than you will have ordinarily in other states. But if you ask me, it has also got to do with the contestants. If you look at APGA, for instance, which is again a dominant party in that, up until this moment, there's a serious contest between the candidate and the one who believed that he ought to have emerged from that party. Again, midstream, their national chairman left the leadership of that party to contest for the senatorial position, which he lost to Madam Ekunife. On the part of, I watched, was it 2 days ago, when there was a disclaimer. A faction of APGA, for instance, publicly on television, announced that they are supporting PDP as a political party. The same day, the other faction came out to say that cannot be the position because they indeed have a candidate. So I would think that...
Telling the world that they're still very much in the race.
Correct. So I would think that all of these dynamics, have added to raise the stakes, as it were, such that you are not just talking about the intra-party squabbles. You're also gauging the collective problems associated with virtually all the political parties as they move on. Don't forget that Theodore Oji, who is the governor, has had running battles with citizens of that state regarding the positioning of he going for the Senate. The son, I understand, is coming for the House of Assembly, and so on and so forth. If you look at those together with the recent decamp of Eunice Oji, the mother of the former governor, to APC, you would find why Abia State has suddenly been. Now, these are legitimate movements, political movements and schemes. But the implications of that is that it has also a ripple effect on the followership. These are gladiators, these are state actors, as it were, who have commanding influence on the majority of the members, and what you see is the digging in,
Interestingly, it was also one of the states where we saw complaints after the presidential elections. Correct. Even though it would seem that the two major political parties contending in that race were supposed to be supporting one particular candidate, for the presidential elections. But if you come to elections that were more localized, you would see that there was contention in terms of what happened. And that's why we also saw that the returning officer said, I did not announce the results, but you had somebody else from INEC saying, well, these are the results, here they are. How do you think that INEC has responded adequately to the issues raised from the local elections that arose in that particular state?
Well,
this is open floor
okay.
now.
Well, I don't think that INEC has been able to respond adequately. I'm aware that there were petitions before INEC with respect to the National Assembly election, particularly in a particular senatorial district where an APGAT candidate said they won the election and all that. And also from what we got from the observers on ground, it was also a state where people felt that the result of some of the election didn't really reflect the aspiration of people who went out to vote. And given that and knowing fully that there's an election coming up, that's enough to generate that kind of tension, making Abia State a flashpoint that we really need to watch out for.
Interestingly, it's also one of the states that has signed the peace accord. Does this make any meaning? I mean, looking at all that has preceded the polls, and do you think that this will have any effect on the aftermath of the polls?
Yes, definitely it will. I'll tell you why. When you come forward to sign a peace accord and you make rubbish of the peace accord, you make a statement. Particularly, certain parties across these 8 states have not been behaving in ways that exhibit any political maturity. We have seen political heavyweights turn comedians. Politics has been taken to, how will I put it, to the gutters, if possible. I mean, for want of what to say. It's not meant to be, you know, a bull in a china shop affair, where either I have it or we break everything. And unfortunately, the major contenders don't seem to even be showing any of those ethical, you know, or those ethical and attitudinal conducts. In fact, you even see some of the less known parties taking a more mature posture than these ones who claim to have been around for much longer. And that is why their states have become flashpoints. They are flashpoints not because of the citizens. They are flashpoints because of the so-called leaders in that movement. The leaders are actually the real flashpoints, not the citizens, not the states. They are the sponsors, they are the hibernators, they are the harbingers of those things that make the states flashpoints. And that is where you have the situation where security now comes into the picture, with the citizen being the ultimate victim and loser. So the citizen is just the guinea pig. These troublemakers spur the citizens on, they incite them, and after they have craft up the scenario, the security man comes and cleans it out, and the troublemaker just starts the vicious cycle again.
You were looking at the ingredients here as to what exactly makes Abia State makes this list, and even what makes any state at all make this type of list.
The contenders.
The contenders is what you're saying. Yet you're optimistic that, you know, this peace accords that they've signed in some of these so-called flashpoint states as well will make any meaning. How is that possible?
The elections, I'm optimistic. The elections, peace accord or no peace accord, will fall through smoothly. The peace accord for me is ceremonial. It's ceremonial because we have seen exemplitude play itself out up there, where the 2 presidential aspirants committed themselves and made good their commitments. Coming down to the state levels, we have seen a duplication, a bandwagon effect. Oh, they did a peace accord, so everybody is going down to sign a peace accord. Peace accords are like 2 for 10 kobo now. We've had how many so far?
About 27.
Well,
27.
Just give me a moment. Let's all pull our resources together and try Abuja once again and see if we can get Ambassador Abdullahi Omaki now. I do hope you can hear us, because we're a little bit worried. You should be part of this conversation. Ambassador, can you hear us now? Ambassador Omaki, can you...
Various states of the federations tomorrow, God willing.
Now, I don't know if you can hear me. I sincerely hope that my voice will be as lucky as Sulaiman's voice. But what are your thoughts on the peace treaties, beg your pardon, peace accords signed so far by all the political candidates?
I had you an event